this will be one of the toughest tests England have ever faced in a major tournament, actually, when you think that they're going to be playing it at more than 7,000 feet altitude in the Azteca, a place where Mexico have only lost 2 out of 88 competitive matches.
5, it was a pretty unforgettable moment, wasn't it?
Ball in towards Kane. Kane on the turn. Oh, what a goal!
I just want to be able to go, like that, and have good reason on the radio. It must be so cathartic, don't you think, doing that? It was Harry Kane saving England, really. He scored twice in their 2-1 win last night over DRC. Let's talk to James Restall, the head of sport for the Times and the Sunday Times. James, morning to you.
Good morning.
Before we start moaning and worrying about Mexico, which we are going to do, can we talk about Harry Kane? Is he England's greatest ever striker? Is he the world's best out-and-out number 9 at the moment?
I'd say yes and yes to those questions. I think he's scored 84 international goals now, and I remember when Rooney broke the goal scoring record and got to 53, and everybody, and this was a milestone that we'd waited decades to see broken, and he's taken 10 years pretty much. I think he made his debut in 2015. He scored 83 international goals. He's England's record goal scorer at World Cups. I think he scored 72 goals this season for club and country. He keeps getting better. I mean,
seems like quite a nice bloke.
Yes, yeah.
I think it's important.
And if you saw at the end the way he was giving a team talk to all the players in the huddle, he's clearly an inspirational leader too. So I mean, I run out of superlatives for the man.
We did look shaky defensively. We haven't got a right back, and the hydration breaks in this World Cup are an abomination. But you do worry a little bit. If there hadn't been a hydration break at 23 minutes, what would have happened? It
was, we've just put a piece of analysis from Hamza Khalik Lunat, who was there last night running our live blog, and basically how England played that match in 4 quarters. Terrible in the first quarter, limped into the first hydration break. They were exceptional afterwards and were unlucky not to have got an equaliser. And then after half-time, they dropped off again completely, and it was only after that final hydration break that they really threw everything at it. But yes, they were. That first 20 minutes was probably some of the worst I've seen England play.
I actually think it's the worst I've ever seen them play, possibly. I mean,
so dysfunctional.
You forget about it. They couldn't pass. They couldn't pass to each other. The ball was going all over the place. Bellingham looked a bit off, didn't he? Declan Rice was shouting. They didn't look right. They probably can't afford that against Mexico.
No, and not least that, I mean, this will be one of the toughest tests England have ever faced in a major tournament, actually, when you think that they're going to be playing it at more than 7,000 feet altitude in the Azteca, a place where Mexico have only lost 2 out of 88 competitive matches. So if they use the hydration breaks well against DRC, they're going to need to use them very, very well on 1 a.m. on Monday morning.
And they haven't got a right back.
Well, I mean, this is going to be a really big talking point going forwards now, because for those last 12 minutes, Declan Rice excelled in that role. Tony Cascarino, writing in the Times today, argues that even if Reece James is fit, they should play Declan Rice there, because he offers so much in an attacking sense. If they play Saka as well, there's that Arsenal club synergy there, which we saw when those two linked up with Eze. So it's a really compelling option. The question would be, what do they then do in midfield? And that's another problem. It feels like at this World Cup, Thomas Tuchel, problems keep popping up that he keeps having to solve.
And that's either a good sign he's quite impromptu, but maybe he didn't pick the right team. I was thinking that if they'd lost that game last night, and possibly even if they lose against Mexico, particularly if they get punished down the right, down the left, going to their right back, he'd get fired, won't he?
Well, I mean, this is the man who, when he took the England job, said, we're going to put a second star on the shirt. This was the mission was win the World Cup, and the FA brought in a star manager because they'd come so close year after year, and this is the guy to get them over the line. So there will obviously be talk about his future if they don't progress deep into this competition. I don't think they necessarily have to win it, because you need so much to go in your favour, and England, by goodness, haven't had that much going in their favour so far. But if they lose to Mexico, I think those questions will be asked.
How do you think the nation will handle a 1 a.m. start? We've been talking about this because we've had various politicians on said, should kids not have to go to school in the morning? And they all say they've got to go to school.
Well, never mind the school kids. It's been a really interesting one for us to work out how we staff it.
Yeah.
Because it's, I think the only time probably we'd have people on the newsroom floor at 1 a.m. is a general election.
Yeah, it's a bit like
it would be. It is like a general.
It is. It's the sports desk's version of the general election.
And you might have, if it goes well, you might have 3 more of them as well. So it's not just a one-off. You might have the next few.
I think we've got a 10 p.m. if it's the quarter-final, and then the semi-final and the final are the more palatable 8 p.m. kickoffs. So this is the last England one that's at a really random time. But we'll have a team in, and I think everybody will just plough on through.
What do you think the viewing figures will be? I'm really interested to know that. I mean, how many people will get up at 1? Because if you get up at 1, you've got to be up till 3. That's a big thing. See, we get up at 2:30,
and possibly 4 if it's extra time.
Exactly.
Penalties.
We get into the office before 4, so we'll be able to watch penalties in the office. But it's a big ask for people who've got to work the next day. Do you think how many people? I mean, it's about 20 million people watching England. Do you reckon 10 million, 5 million, 2 million? I've got no idea.
Yeah, it's really hard one. It's a really, really hard one to judge. Great for students, I suppose. I was saying that my friend and I were saying that if we were still at university, this would be the perfect World Cup.
It is an amazing. I also think for the kids who finished their A levels.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you finished your A levels this summer? You could absolutely just enjoy it. What's been your favourite tale from the World Cups before you go? What have you enjoyed What thing have you enjoyed the most?
Cape Verde. Cape Verde getting into the knockouts, and that amazing 0-0 draw they had with Spain, their 40-year-old goalkeeper who's now, I think, went from 5,000 followers on Instagram to now millions. There's been a lot of controversy around the decision to expand the World Cup to 48 teams, but to see some of the smaller nations really take that opportunity has been quite inspiring, and they've got the biggest test against Argentina and Messi now, which I think is going to be fascinating to watch.
Yeah, James, I really enjoyed the coverage in the Times, by the way, and the Sunday Times.
Thank you.
Great stuff, really well done. That's James Restall, the head of sport for the Times and the Sunday Times.